Hey buddies, SomeNutzGuy here. Hope you're having an awesome day so far. In this video, we are going to teach you guys how to get started in V Rising. This will be a really quick one because I'm going to be doing lots of little videos for this to help you guys progress through the game. And what you're going to be doing first is spawning in a crypt. You're going to wake up out of your coffin, you're going to spawn in a crypt, and in the top left corner, as soon as you spawn, you're going to start to see your journal or your quest objectives. And these are going to be very basic objectives, starting with finding some bones, crafting some gear and equipment out of those bones, and just progressing through the very beginning basic parts up to the point where you'll end up with a little zone that looks like this. But before you get to this stage, we want to talk about base locations. And this is the first thing that's quite important when getting started, because the quests here are going to take you through the process of setting up your first base and starting to expand upon this. And quite quickly, it'll be more and more difficult to move this base if you decide that you don't like your location. So picking a decent location early on is a good idea. I may well do a guide completely separately on base locations throughout the entirety of the map and depending on what stage of the game you're at. But the early stages of the game, you're probably going to want to stay on the bottom half so you're not doing too much traveling for the bottom half objectives that are there. Now, you're either going to spawn from this vampire way gate or this section over here or this section over here. After the very first 2 minutes, you're going to choose whether you want to spawn here or you want to spawn down here. I chose the left side for a couple of reasons. It doesn't really matter too much, but this location right here, this bandit copper mine, is going to be probably your best source of copper in the early game. And this area right here is quite nice. There's this a secret hidden passage there, and there's a secret hidden passage over here, which will end up being fairly useful to you sort of later on in the mid games. You got your teleport here, and you've got your copper sources here. So it's a pretty decent location with a nice amount of space to build and not much hostility around it otherwise. So this is the location that I chose, but anywhere around here will be fine, but just bearing in mind that this copper mine is going to be a key point of interest in the early stages of the game. Once you've gotten yourself to this point, it's going to ask you to construct and interact with a blood altar. And this is essentially introducing you to the progression in the game. So the blood altar looks like this, and this is how you're going to progress through the game. This is how you're going to unlock powers, abilities, new craftables, new armor and gear that you can use, as well as transformations, just like the Alpha Wolf, which is the very first one. Now, something I really like about this game is that it gets you straight into trying to minimize wasted time. This Alpha Wolf here is going to give you the ability to turn into a wolf, which, as you can see, increases your movement speed by 45%. Now, you can hit these in any order that you wish to, but honestly, going for the Alpha Wolf, it's the first one on the list, and getting this movement ability early on is very, very important. So if we click track blood, we'll then see this sort of blood trail, and we're kind of tracking the scent of their blood, and that's going to point us in the direction of this V blood target. So V blood targets are the entire progression through the game, and this one is going to give us our speed boost transformation, transforming into a wolf. So definitely want to go and get this done ASAP. And guys, that's really, I don't want to give you any spoilers too much. This is how you get started. Once you've gotten to this point, you've gotten the blood altar. The progression is fairly, it's fairly linear to a certain degree, although there's some things that are confusing along the way, and my guides and my future tutorials will probably help you with some of those more confusing elements. But generally, if you're stuck and you feel like you're not sure where you can progress, going to the blood altar and seeing what your next target is going to be a good idea. And that's that, guys, and how to get started. Just covering the first sort of 20-30 minutes of the game, just in case anyone had any confusions on those aspects. But also because the basing element of it is actually fairly important. You don't want to end up having a base in a terrible location, expanding upon it, and then having a whole big effort to move that from one location to an actual better location. Alrighty guys, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, consider subscribing. I go live on Twitch every day except Monday and Friday, and it'd be great to see some of you guys there. Regardless, hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Take care.